Welcome to beautiful Cambridge, Massachusetts on this Sunday afternoon. Happy Sunday and Happy New Year as we welcome you inside the Bright Landry Hockey Center on the campus of Harvard University for today's presentation of the National Women's Hockey League. The Boston Pride host the Buffalo Beauts. Hello everybody once again. Welcome inside Bright Landry Hockey Center. My name is Tim Culverhouse and I'll have the call for today's game, and I'm joined here in the broadcast booth by my partner Erica Lawler, former U.S. Olympian. And Erica, Boston winners of 4 in a row, Buffalo losers of 4 in a row. This is a Boston team trending in the right direction at the right time.
Absolutely. Whenever you can go into the second half of the season with this kind of momentum, you're gonna benefit from it.
And on this 4-game winning streak for Boston, one of those wins came right here at Bright Landry as the Pride knocked out the Beauts. Here's highlights of that game from earlier in December. Big game from Brittany Ott. She earned the shutout, the first in league history, but it was a 1-0 game for Boston, and the goal scorer right here, superstar Hillary Knight. Absolutely.
We mentioned earlier that the reason why the Pride are doing so well right now, they're doing the little things better in front of the net. They're starting to capitalize more, and they're starting to execute in the zones that matter.
This is a Boston team that can put the puck in the net. 3.7 goals for going up against the Buffalo team, having a little bit of trouble in net. 4.1 goals. Again, something you and I mentioned off camera as well is the power play for this Boston squad as well.
Absolutely. If you're Buffalo, you can't win the game in the box. You know, Boston's capitalizing on 1 in every 4 power play opportunities that they have. So when they get a power play, they get excited, and they're gonna get excited. They're gonna get momentum from it. The Buffalo Beauts need to stay out of the penalty box.
Plenty of star power on both of these teams, and with that, we'll take a look at our players to watch. First, for the visiting Buffalo Beauts, Devin Skeets. 7 goals on the season for her, 1 assist. Now, she's one of the players that will do the little things right. Erica.
Absolutely, 7 goals. She's clearly a gifted goal scorer, but not only that, but she does the little things in front of the net, and she pays the price, and she gets rewarded for it.
And for Boston, Emily Field, 3 goals and assists, a game-winning goal against Connecticut in the last game for Boston, another player who coaches love for.
Emily Field's getting better and better every single game you watch her, and she's doing a great job out of the corner. She's doing a great job winning her 50-50 battles and bringing a lot of energy to the ice.
We're happy that you joined us on this Sunday. Happy New Year once again. We'll be back with Puck Drop, the national anthem, and starting lineups on ESPN3 and NESN. Rounding out the starting lineups here at the Bright Landry Hockey Center, just about ready for a puck drop between the Boston Pride and the Buffalo Beauts. We're going to step aside for a moment for the national anthem, then come back for the game.
Hickman. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand and remove your hats for the singing of our national anthem, performed today by Bandmaster of the Ancient and Honorable Artillery Corps of Massachusetts, recording artist, Mr. Frank Zarba.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Anthems are done. The teams are just about ready for puck drop here at the Bright Landry Hockey Center as Boston and Buffalo prepare to meet once again in the inaugural season of the NWHL. Tim Culverhouse here with you, along with former U.S. Olympian Erica Lawler. We'll have a ceremonial puck drop for this Boston team. Erica, winners of four in a row, 37 goals for. This Buffalo team has given up 41 goals in just 10 games this season. Hillary Knight, Brianna Decker, and a lot of these players for Boston getting back from national team practice over the past couple of weeks. Maybe a little bit of tired bodies for this Boston squad.
Yeah, absolutely. We were just talking about this before. On the 27th, they all left for U.S. national team camp. Or about, I think, seven of the Pride players left, and then I think two of the Buttes. So, there's going to be a little bit of fatigue. I think those camps are grueling. You go, you do double sessions, some days triple sessions. They're mentally, physically exhausting. When you get back from those, they got back about 24 hours ago. So they might be feeling it quite a bit in the first period. It's going to be important for them to just get a few shifts in, really quick shifts. Nothing more than 30 seconds to get themselves into the game and get their bodies warmed up.
Ceremonial puck drop between Boston co-captain Brianna Decker and captain of the Buttes, Emily Falzer. And with that, we're just about ready to get underway. Buffalo coming in at 1-7-0 and 2-2 losses in overtime or shootout. Boston 7-3-0. This is the Boston team ready to go. Starting goalies for both teams will go on the opposite side of the ice first. You're looking at the huddle for the Buffalo Buttes. It will be Amanda McKella. She has 4 games played this season. 0-1-0-2 on the year, 3.12 goals against average, and a .872 save percentage. She took a 3-2 shootout loss to the Connecticut Whale on December 6th, 20 saves for her. So McKella will get the start in the Buffalo cage, and on the other side of the ice will be the normal starter for the Boston Pride, Brittany Ott. 5-1 on the year for Ott out of St. Clair Shores, Minnesota. Also 161 saves, 229 goals against average, 920 save percentage. Take a look at the Boston Pride coaching staff. Bobby J, the head coach of the Pride, on the other side of the ice, Shelley Looney, and the other coach of Buffalo is Rick Sealing. So your starting goalie, their matchup and stats right there. Just about ready to go, Erica. Like you said, first couple of minutes, get those shifts out of the way. Then after that, you settle into the game. Absolutely,
yeah. They're gonna need to take those quick shifts. Like I said, those U.S. camps, half their team went to that. Half the Pride team represented the U.S. at camp last week, and they're all a part of that player pool, and it's exhausting. It really is. You're tested mentally, physically. You're just you're completely and utterly exhausted by the end of those things. So they're gonna need to move their feet at the beginning of the game to get themselves into it.
Courtney Kunichio wins the faceoff for Buffalo, and we are underway. The visiting Buttes in the gray uniforms in the offensive zone right now, navy and light blue trim. And then the home Boston Pride in the black and gold. Lannis drops in for a shot, saved, a little bit of contact near the post. And we'll have our first whistle as going over Tea Kettle's Emily Field hard to the net.
Yeah, we were talking about Emily Field earlier in the pregame talk, and that's exactly what we were talking about. She's getting her nose into tough areas, and she's playing tough. She has a lot of energy when she's going to the ice, and that's exactly what the Pride need here early on in the game to get themselves going, and that's why they've been successful in the most recent games.
Because the net was knocked off by Field, that's why the face-off brought outside the zone. Boston wins it after a scrum, and they dump it in. Buffalo working to break it out. Buffalo will move left to right across your television screen. Streaking in here is Devin Skeets. Backhands a shot wide of Ott. Pinching in from the defensive point is Haley Brown. Kept in, slap shot taken, glove save by Ott off the shot of Megan Bozek.
Great opportunity right there. Great shot on net. It's really important early on in the game to make sure you get shots through, especially against a strong goaltender like Britt Ott. She got a shot out in her last game, and she's obviously going for it again today. They got to figure out a way to score on her because they didn't score on her last game.
Decker in on the face-off. Buffalo wins it. Corral behind the net momentarily for Boston, then nearly turned over. And then sending it down the length of the rink is Jordan Smelker for an icing.
Yeah, Megan Duggan creating that turnover right there. I've been talking very highly of her all season, and she's doing a great job. I actually was talking to her over the holiday break a little bit. Said, Megs, you look awesome out there. You know, what are you doing? Like, you're not slowing down. You're 28 years old, and you're getting better every time I see you. And you know, that's what she does out there. She does the little things. She creates turnovers, and then, you know, in return, that's gonna create scoring opportunities. So definitely be watching for number 10 on the Buttes.
3 goals and a second on the team, 4 assists for Megan Duggan. Turned over behind that, a little bit of contact from Bolden as she's working one-on-one with Jessica Fickle. Fickle staying strong on the puck. Gagliardi knocks her off. Duggan chases it down, and Decker comes over for the support. Hillary Knight drop pass to Decker, and cross ice intended for Smelker, poked away, and Boston will dump it in.
Yeah, this is definitely a line from the Pride that you guys are probably going to watch and see very often, creating a lot of scoring opportunities. You have Brianna Decker, Hillary Knight, and Smelker. They're all very talented players.
Duggan comes in, shot, sticked aside by Ott. Tumbling down in the corner for Buffalo is Erin Zach, and that creates an opportunity for Amanda Pelkey working down the wing. She gets it in. She's working one-on-one with Paige Harrington. And to a side meet in the far corner. Approaching 2 minutes into the first period, we're scoreless between the Pride and the Buttes. Knocked down out of the air by Jillian Dempsey. Fires it back in, corralled by Falzer, works it up the wing, and Buffalo can start the breakout. Buttes coming 2-on-2 up the ice, pass intended, and make that looking for Haley Williams. She has it now in the corner. Working on Gagliardi, all the way back up to the wing. Falzer sends it back into the mixer. Williams attempting to backhand, shut off momentarily by Dempsey. Back out to the point, over the stick of Harrington. An opportunity now for the Pride. Amanda Pelkey working down the wing. One-on-one, show Carl wait for teammates. Boston goes for a change. Shot out front. Big save made by McKella. Still loose in the slot. And Buffalo dodges an early bullet there as Williams clears.
That's a great play by Amanda Pelkey, using her speed down the outside, creating a turnover on the blue line, then being patient, kind of peeling off by the sideboards and then getting the shot to net. That was a great heads-up play by Amanda Pelkey.
Green Bowie with the wrist shot, and that's gloved by Makala, and she'll hold on for a whistle. Just take a look at this here. Right out front, Kelly Cook, 2 whacks at it, just couldn't find the loose puck.
Yeah, it looks like she saw it a little bit too late, but a way to get her stick on it. Those aren't always easy to find, especially when you're smaller like Kelly Cook. It's hard to find those pucks in front, but she did a great job.
Marvin's wrist shot knocked down in front. Fans behind the net thought it might have made its way towards the net. Taken back by Bowie, back to the point, D to D. Gedman tries to shoot, blocked down once again by Buffalo as the Buttes get in the shooting lanes. Up at the blue line and cleared out, and chasing it back is Marissa Gedman. Former Harvard player, very familiar with this ice here in Cambridge. And Boston able to get it into the neutral zone, dump back in once again. Hillary Knight streaking down the wing, passed out front, looking to connect with Field, just off her stick.
The Pride look fast out there right now. They're starting out the game really strong.
Overskating the puck for the moment is Skeets, but only Buffalo back defensively, tipped out by the Buttes, and Boston will reload. Finds Brianna Decker, and off the boards is Blake Bolden, too far in front of its intended target, but Decker wins the race to the faceoff circle. No icing. Decker in the corner, looking to start the cycle, but that's picked off momentarily. And Duggan's there on the back check. Regaining it for Boston is Hillary Knight out front. Decker gets a little bit of the shot, can't get everything. And it's patted aside momentarily by Makala. Here come the Buttes up the ice. Working through, and it's Falzer, shot blocked out front. And Boston clears once again. Looks like this one's gonna go down for icing.
As we mentioned before the game, the U.S. Being in the U.S. national team and having, being invited to winter camp and having that opportunity to play there, can either work for or against you. It seems like right now it's working in their favor because the Buttes, meanwhile, did not have an opportunity to play over the break. So they're a little bit rusty right now, and they need to figure out a way to figure out how to get their legs moving again and how to start molding together as a team.
Decker wins the face-off cleanly. Allows Boston to start the breakout. Jordan Smelker waits for the puck, and she finds it. Back to Hillary Knight, who can't get it into the zone. Buffalo breaks it out once again. It's Duggan streaking down the wing, fakes the shot out front. Nearly connects with Aaron Zach, just wide.
That was a great look on the back door.
Decker once again cutting through two, loses it for the moment. Back to the point, and it's picked off nicely by Aaron Zach. 2-on-1 for Buffalo if they hurry. Tatiana Rafter with it. Rafter tries to use the screen, and it's tipped out of play by Alyssa Gagliardi. Active stick from her.
Yeah, the Buttes are getting their opportunities as well. The Pride look a little bit stronger right now, but the Buttes are responding really well. They're transitioning really quickly up the ice, and they're getting shots through. It's a great hockey game so far, pretty back and forth.
Just over 5 minutes into the opening frame, still scoreless. Turnover behind the net, shot just wide off the stick of Hannah McGowan. Behind the net, Gagliardi up to the point. And Buffalo's forecheck here, Erica, causing some problems for Boston.
Yeah, they work hard. It's difficult as a defender to be given that much pressure. Defensemen hate pressure, and that's what the Buttes do, and they do it well. They're a very hard-nosed team. They get into the corners. They like to create turnovers. They may not be as skilled as some of the teams that they play, but they certainly outwork a lot of their components, and that they use that to their advantage a lot.
Still early on, Boston out shooting Buffalo 5-2 as we tick down towards 14 minutes left in the first period. Boston dumps it in. Buffalo with a free opportunity to break it out, but it's intercepted by Bowie. Bowie's shot on net hops over the cage. Getting a piece of that once again was Makala. Chasing down the loose puck, Emily Field protects it with the body. She gets upended over a plethora of sticks in that corner. A little bit of time still, cross ice pass picked off, and starting the breakout is Falzer. Drop pass, and that's going to connect for a shot wide off the stick of number 14, Kelly McDonald. Big collision in front of the Boston bench, but that springs Emily Field. Field on the shot, misses wide. Delay penalty coming here on Buffalo, and there's the whistle for the stoppage. And you mentioned in the pregame here, Erica, Buffalo needs to stay out of the penalty box. Right out of the gate, Boston will have an opportunity on the power play.
Yeah, and it's actually a well-rested power play too. Decker, Knight, and Smelker haven't seen the ice in a couple shifts, so they're well-rested. They're probably really excited to get this opportunity, and you can never win a hockey game in the penalty box. And we also mentioned that the goaltending really needs to be strong on the Buttes end, just because there's so much firepower on the Pride offense. They can all score goals, so I'm interested to see what they have here.
Devin Skeets to the box, 2-minute power play here for Boston. Center of the point, opportunity, shot tipped out front, still saved, backdoor pass, looking to connect with Gagliardi, could not control it. From the knees, cleared out by Buffalo. Up through the neutral zone, it's Hillary Knight streaking down the wing, leaves it off for Decker. Decker shooting it loose in the slot, and finally covered by Makala as Knight was right there.
That was a great transition. They didn't give the Buttes any time to set up on that power play. I love it when there's a power play that just goes right to the net off the transition, and that's exactly what Decker and Knight just did, and created a really good opportunity for the Pride to maybe sneak one in.
Second unit coming out there now for Boston. Make its way back to the point, and holding on to it is Gedman. D to D, she'll catch it once more. Gedman looking to find Boldman, hops under her stick, and Boston will have to regroup. Still a minute and a half left on the power play. Boston and Buffalo scoreless. Opportunity, Jillian Dempsey, 2-on-1, working with Pelkey. Dempsey shooting, save once again by Makala, still loose near her. And Boston chases down the loose puck. Back to the point, Bolden. Working with Gedman. High box here from Buffalo. Into the corner. Knight back to Gedman, shooting, blocked down in front once again, and cleared. Individual effort, strong play from Falzer. 50 left on the power play. Dangerous change for Boston, and it results in a turnover. Here comes Buffalo once again, working through. And stick aside for the moment. Shooting, scoring! And it is Buffalo getting on the board. First, Haley Brown on the shorthand, and the Buttes 1-0.
Yeah, it seems like they caught them off guard quite a bit. The Pride got on the ice. They weren't really sure what their positions were, what they were doing. It looked like a lot of miscommunication out there, and the Buttes stepped up, created a little havoc in front, get the shot. Ends up going 5-0, I think, on Bridot there.
And for Brown, that'll be her third goal of the season, the first on the shorthand. And Buffalo takes a 1-0 lead. Let's see who the assists are credited to, but a disastrous power play in the first period so far for Boston.
Yeah, you know what? It actually wasn't a disastrous power play until that last play right there. It was actually a really good power play. They were getting shots and doing everything they needed to do. Just goes to see how one hiccup in it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's one hiccup and created a turnover in a really high priority area of the ice, and it results in a goal against.
And Decker off the faceoff gets a good shot, swallowed up by Makla. So still 28 left on the power play for Boston. Back to the point, it's Garvin. Over to Gagliardi. Garvin once again. A little bit of room down low from Decker, waiting patiently out front to Decker, tipped just wide. Not sure if Makla got a piece of that, but Decker was in the slot alone.
Tim, it's actually Gigi Marvin, and I think you just kind of morphed her first name and her last name, and it's turned into Garvin, and
there we go.
I kind of like it. I might start calling her Garvin myself now.
New nickname for,
yeah.
For just after the penalty kill and an icing against Buffalo. Devin Skeets thought she won the race to the circle, but fast feet from Boston will send icing, and it's Marvin winning that race. So Boston, another chance here. Tired bodies on the ice for Buffalo after the icing.
Yeah, very tired. You never want to be on the ice when those icing calls are called. It's just a focus thing from here on out, though. It's all mental. You got to bear down and make sure that you can do whatever you need to do to get that puck out of the zone and change up.
Lannis loses the draw, but Boston gains control. Back to the point. Bolden thinks about the wrist shot, fires it around the boards. Going to make its way all the way back towards the point. Lannis back to Gedman. And now controlling it for the moment before Bolden gets it. She shoots, blocked out front once again. Hops over the stick of Gagliardi. And a chance cutting through for Skeets. Skeets working 1-on-3, holds it for the moment. And then we'll just turn it back over as Boston will try to get it out of the defensive end. Field fires it into the body of Falzer. Buffalo keeps it in. Falzer breaking in. Runs into Kunichia out of the zone momentarily. And Boston will get a change. 10:30 left to go in the first period. Buffalo 1, Boston nothing. Puck goes over the head of Buffalo, and now the Buttes can make their way down the ice. Fickle dumps it in behind the cage of Ott, and Gagliardi corrals it for the moment before she leaves it to Megan Mangine. Into neutral ice, Jillian Dempsey with some speed. Shoots one, blocked aside once again. Dempsey to the point. Gagliardi, D to D, and Gagliardi will have it back once again. A lot of puck possession for Boston, but everything kept to the outside so far. Behind the net, Pickett out front. Tipped a couple of times, Mangine once again. And Boston will restart the cycle. Dempsey behind the net to Pickett. Gagliardi. Pickett and Buffalo, and now an opportunity for the Pride skating behind the net. Pass back out to Mangine. Centering pass inside the slot. It's Smelker. She shoots and she scores. Great individual effort from Jordan Smelker, and the Pride get on the board.
Yeah, that was a great play. Great heads-up play. I believe, was it Dempsey who assisted that? I'm not sure, but Kelly Cook had just gotten off the ice. Jordan Smelker coming into the zone with a full head of steam. She finds her in the high slot, and she just she took her momentum and just threw it on net with everything she had behind it, with all that weight and power behind it. It was a great goal.
And Smelker goes short side and is able to put it in the net, give that her 4th goal on the season, and Boston ties it up with Buffalo 1-1 at the 9:21 mark of the period.
Yeah, she was crashing into the slot with a full head of steam. It's like a freight train to stop her right there. It was a great look by Dempsey to find her in the high slot. Someone with fresh legs like that, it's perfect.
Turned over once again. All that also, Erica, coming off that icing, some tired bodies on the ice for Buffalo. Boston was able to get a change. Then you see coming right off is Smelker, and she fires it in the net. Marvin carefully in front of her own net. And another opportunity. Here come the Pride up the ice. Decker along the far side wing tries the shot. Knight tied up in front just underneath her stick. Decker finds a loose puck. Back to the point to Gedman. Gedman, quick wrist shot, tip, score! I think it's going to be Hillary Knight on the tip. And just like that, 2-1 Boston.
Yeah, I think Gedman intentionally shot that puck a little wide because she saw Hillary Knight was kind of hanging her stick out of the far post a little bit, you know, basically giving her that target to just hit her backhand for that tip. She was able to execute on it, and Niter had a great tip there. I think it went, you know, short side, run under the glove a little bit.
And Hillary Knight gets on the board once again. That is her leading 9th of the season. And the Pride, just under a minute, have the lead. Out front, still loose. Buffalo trying to do something off the face-off. The 8:30 mark of the first period. Boston 2, Buffalo 1.
Yeah, when you have somebody like Hillary Knight in front of the net with hand-eye coordination like that, you got to be aware as a defender on the Buttes. You know, Hillary Knight's out there. We can't let her get her stick on the puck right in front, because usually it's going to result in the goal, and that's what it just did.
Back to the point man. Jean goes to Bolden, who sends it back into the corner. Winning the race is Bowie, and she turns it over momentarily. Here come the Buttes once again. It's Jessica Fickle working one-on-one with Bolden. Bolden keeps her to the outside. Mangine gets the loose puck. Mangine with a little bit of room now. She'll skate it up for Boston. Gain the red line and dump it in. Going back to that goal once again, Erica, like you said, Knight's stick just on the ice, and Gedman hit it right on the mark.
Yeah, it was a great play. You practice that in practice sometimes. You know, you have the defender shoot a little wide because it's a great opportunity for a forward to maybe catch the goalie off guard, catch them on the off angle, and you know, tip it in.
Kelly Cook looking to connect with Pelkey, a little long, icing waved off. Chasing it down is Paige Harrington of Buffalo. And Buttes now behind 2-1. They had a lead very short on a shorthanded goal, and Boston answers right back with 2 of their own. Marvin up the ice, tipped in by Dempsey, and Buffalo will start their breakout once again. Nice pass into neutral ice, a little bit of room to maneuver. Shooting it on net are the Buttes. That was McGowan. Turned aside by Ott. Far side in the corner. Puck might be under a Buffalo player, and it is. And we will have a stoppage in our first commercial break of the afternoon. 2-1 Boston over Buffalo. 6:46 left to go in the first. Back inside the Bright Landry Hockey Center, Boston Pride with a 2-1 lead over the Buffalo Buttes at the 6:46 mark of the first period. Boston falling behind 1-0, but then 2 quick goals by the Pride put them back in front. Tim Culverhouse with Erica Lawler here in Cambridge. What have you liked so far out of Boston's game, Erica?
They started off fast and they're getting shots to the net. I think that that's exactly what they needed to do to start, to get the momentum moving in their favor early in the game and to get their legs moving and to kind of send their goalie back on their heels a little bit. I love the shots. I love how hard they're crashing the net. They're doing the little things right.
11 shots already for Boston, a 4 for Buffalo, and for the Pride, they average 46.1 shots on goal a game. So this is a team not afraid to put the puck on net from anywhere and everywhere on the ice.
Yeah, and I think traditionally, though, earlier in the season, they've had a tough time getting shots on net in the first period. So they usually get a lot of shots in the third when it's a little bit too late. Right now, I like that they're starting it early and they're doing it often.
Decker tonight, long backhand to Jordan Smelker, looking for Decker on the one-timer underneath her stick. And this line has a lot of firepower as well. A couple of Olympian and Olympic hopefuls out there for Boston. Buffalo weathering the storm, turned over. Decker. Cross ice back to Gagliardi. Fakes the slap shot, gets a defender out. Cross ice looking for Decker once again, just wide.
It was a great idea. She was trying to get Decker going to the net. She could have easily have put that on net, but I think she was thinking Decker was going to be crashing the net a little quicker than she had.
Hillary Knight looking for that slap pass. That one whistles wide of the post of Makala. Been very busy in the opening minutes here. Inside, in the middle of the zone field, Knight crashes. The net still loose. Coming in once again is Decker, blasted wide. And so much power behind that shot. It'll go the length of the rink, allowing Buffalo and Boston to change.
Yeah, Hillary Knight was just wide open in front of the net. I'm not quite sure where the Buttes defense was on that one, but they're definitely going to need to tighten that up.
Not exactly the person for Boston you want to lose track of right in front of the net.
No, and I think there was just way too many yellow jerseys in general in front of the net that were wide open. So if not Hillary, it was going to be another great player. So something to talk about.
No, absolutely. First period intermission. We'll have a couple of guests here, but Buffalo, maybe some first period adjustments as we're under 5 minutes to go in the first period. Lannis pass underneath her stick, and that will be corralled by Lindsey Grigg of Buffalo. Inside, it's Duggan. Duggan one-on-one, tries to go for the backhand. What a save from Brittany Ott. I don't know if she got a piece of it, but she kept it out of the back of the net.
It was the right idea. It was the right idea. She saw that Ott was going down, and she just needed to take the puck and go to her backhand. Unfortunately, it just slipped underneath her forehand on it. Megan Duggan couldn't quite get it on her backhand, but that would have been a goal otherwise.
It's Gunichia flipping one towards the cage. It's wide. Loose puck right in front of the boards is Haley Brown. She's stripped by Jillian Dempsey. Dempsey works it out. And the Pride up ice once again. Amanda Pelkey speeding around the defenseman. Tries to cut back. Her stick lifted and the puck knocked aside for a second. Boston with it in the corner on the stick of Cook. Back to the point. Marvin. Cross ice pass to Bolden. Bolden out front. And Boston one-timer just wide from Dempsey. Just missed it.
Yeah, the Pride are putting on a clinic right now. They have some great puck movement out there, going D to forward to D to forward. And, the only thing they didn't do on that is get a shot on net. But otherwise, they look crisp. They look fast out there. I'm really impressed.
Marvin up to Pelkey, and she'll fire it back in as we wind under 3:40 left to go. A very fast-moving first period. Boston 2, Buffalo 1. Speed through neutral ice, working its way through, is Tatiana Rafter, and it will be an offsides.
Yeah, offsides by a mile.
We'll step aside once again. Boston 2, Buffalo 1, here on NESN and ESPN 3.
Very.
Back inside Bright Landry, 2-1 Boston over Buffalo. There's the Pride head coach Bobby J orchestrating some things. Boston with the 2-1 lead, out shooting Buffalo 12-5. And ever since that goal from the Buttes, it's been all Pride right now, Erica.
Absolutely, it has. It has been all Pride. The Buttes on the defensive end of things, they really need to tighten it up. I don't know what kind of system they're playing. Doesn't seem like it's man on man. It doesn't really seem like they're doing much of anything, to be honest. But they're definitely going to need to figure out something in between periods, or right now, actually. So.
Falzer's shot patted aside by Ott. And on the forecheck is Buffalo. Gagliardi with it momentarily. She's in a one-on-one battle in the corner with Fickle. Boston's able to win it. Knight by his side at the point. Opportunity just missed for Buffalo. Goes off the stick of McDonald. In neutral ice. Batted down and taken from Smelker. Find Gagliardi, looking for Knight, too far in front of her. And it will be back inside the Boston defensive end with 2:35 left to go in the period.
Yeah, you have to give the Buttes credit, though, for their discipline in the offensive zone and their systems in the neutral zone as well. I think they do a great job clogging up the open space and creating turnovers in those areas of the ice, at least. Defensively, obviously, they need work, but they're doing a great job in the neutral zone and in the offensive zone when they have an opportunity.
Boston certainly winning the time of possession battle, but Buffalo doing a good job keeping him out to the outside. Opportunity now for the Buttes. It's Falzer behind her own net, looking for the wraparound, stick down on the ice and saved by Ott. Turnover once again. Haley Williams shoots, blocker save by Ott. Knocks it behind the net, and Marvin will take it with a little bit of room. 3-on-3 up the ice. Marvin cross ice, finds Smelker, drops it off, finds Bowie. Shot tipped wide and behind the net, out of play. $1:47 left to go. And going back to what you're talking about, Erica, in the neutral zone, Buffalo, like you said, clogging up, making it very difficult. But once they get in the offensive zone, it's been all Boston working around the outside, connecting on passes, involving the defense as well.
Yeah, they have a lot of depth to their forecheck, so usually the third, F3 is always high and in a great position to get the puck, and that's what just happened there on that last play.
Off the face-off, puck wiggles its way back to Mangine, wrist shot wide. Bowie behind the net, looking to go back to Mangine. She pinches, and it will be kept in. Good hustle that time from Emily Field, flips it back. Looking for Field in the slot, as Boston can't connect. And it will be flipped back in from Bolden. Buffalo collapses, and they take the loose puck. It's Grigg, cross ice. And Boston on defense right here. Opportunity for Buffalo off the stick of Skeets. She gets the loose puck. Back to Kunichia out front. Brown. And on the forecheck, 3-on-2 right there. Big hit at the point. And Bowie ends up on the ice. That will be a penalty on Buffalo. Unless Boston scores here, they don't on the offsides. But the Pride will go back on the power play.
A great opportunity for them here to end off the period. If they can go up by 2 goals at the end of the first period, obviously you're in a much better position than just going up by 1. It's a great way to seal the deal, and a great opportunity for them to go up by 2 goals.
And that'll be a penalty for body checking as Bowie gets upended at the point. Boston on the power play, giving up a shorthanded goal and scored a power play goal in this first period. To the point, Gagliardi plays catch with Marvin. Gagliardi, Marvin once again. Looking for some movement out of this Boston power play. 35 seconds left. Hillary Knight dangerously closing towards the slot. Wrist shot from Decker. Getting a piece of that is Makala. And Boston has to retreat once again. 25 seconds. Time for one last rush for the Pride. Leading that rush is Smelker. Streaking down the wing, drops it off. Behind the net now for Boston is Marvin. Looking for a centering pass. That's tipped wide. To the point once again, Decker. Now Marvin, shot. Batted aside by Makala. 5 seconds left towards the center. Wrist shot opportunity from Knight. Another save by Makala. And that will wrap up the first period. Boston 2-1, but they'll have 1:09 left on the power play. Quick thoughts out of the first for you, Erica?
Like we said before, they started off really fast. I think that's exactly what they needed to do. They needed to get a lot of shots. They generated a lot of shots in the first half of the first period. The second half, they did not get as many on that last power play. I would have liked to have seen Gags take the shot right off the faceoff, for example, right at the end of the period. But, little opportunities like that for them to get shots on net, potentially get in front of the net, get gritty, get into those, hard-nosed areas to bury the trash. That's what they've been doing. They've been fast on transition and really fun to watch.
Back inside the Bright Landry Hockey Center. First intermission, Boston 2, Buffalo 1. And the Pride in the midst of this 4-game winning streak. Tim Culverhouse with you. I'm joined here by Pride assistant coach Lauren McGough. And Lauren, 2 goals, a power play, did give up a shorthanded goal. What have you liked out of your team so far in this first period?
Yeah, I think we were doing a good job of controlling the play a little bit. We were possessing the puck, we were forechecking hard, and when we turned it over, we were working hard to get it back. So that's a good start for us.
How has this team been able to handle some of the players out with the national team practice over the past couple of weeks, and how have they been able to get back in game shape for today's game?
Yeah, having the national team players out for a little while, it kind of give some of the other players a good opportunity to get more ice time, to get some time on the power play, and they really stepped up and did a great job with it. And we were able to get a good win over Connecticut a couple weeks ago, which was their first loss. So it was a good job by all our non-national team players to kind of step up and get something good done.
What have you noticed from this team from the opening game, maybe a little bit of nerves, the opening season of the NWHL, professional hockey in Boston, these 3 other markets? What have you seen from the women from game 1 to now where we are in game 11 of the season?
I think they've done a good job of adjusting and figuring out what they need to do to get themselves ready to play. There are a few times this year earlier on in the season where we had kind of shaky starts. And I think a lot of that is just the adjustment, the only 1 game a week, stuff like that. That's a lot different than the college scene. So I think they've figured out how to get up for the games and how to really come out strong.
Now this is a Boston team that loves to put the puck on the net, over 46 shots a game. Do your goalies ever get tired at practice from seeing so many pucks coming towards them, or they're loving the opportunity to get in front of
it definitely makes our goalies stronger in practice because we have some players that get a lot of pucks to the net. Some of our kids have 10 shots a game. I mean, they're impressive at doing that, and that's how you score them. Some of the goalies in this league are very strong, and you kind of have to do that in order to get pucks in.
Now after this first period, Boston will continue on the power play against Buffalo. It seems like Buffalo is doing a good job of collapsing and keeping Boston to the outside. How do you try to fix that and get those shots closer towards the net, maybe in the slot, and generate rebounds?
Yeah, that's kind of the point, I guess. The last power play, we were doing a good job of trying to find the seams and try to bring them out a little bit, and then cut back the other way, or just get pucks through. And then we have some big kids, some big bodies. So if we're able to get the pucks to the net, then I think we're pretty skilled at trying to finish those.
Overall, how has your experience been throughout this first season in the NWHL and the Boston Pride?
Wonderful experience. It's a really great group of young women, and it's been awesome to see the level of hockey that they play at every day.
Joined by Lauren McAuliffe, the assistant coach of the Boston Pride. A couple more questions for you here. With this Boston team, these 4 markets, Boston, New York, Connecticut, and also Buffalo, how has the response been from these local communities, and what are you seeing at the rinks whenever you go out there?
I think the support's been great. Every away game we've gone to, it seems like there's a good rally around a certain cause or a certain event, and we're doing that here at Harvard as well, where we're tying into different causes in different parts of the community to really kind of broaden the amount of people that we're trying to expose the game to. And every time we get into the rink, it feels like there's a new energy and a different energy and a lot of new faces. And then the people that come to certain things are liking what they see, and they're coming back to more games. So it's been great every game so far.
It's been awesome so far today. Boston 2, Buffalo 1. Lauren McAuliffe, assistant coach of the Boston Pride, joining us here in between periods. We'll be back with more after this. Just your experience so far this season, and then like the Outdoor Winter Classic and stuff like that too. Back for more inside the Bright Landry Hockey Center. 2-1 Boston over Buffalo in the NWHL here on NESN and ESPN3. Tim Culverhouse now being joined here by Cherie Hendrickson, defenseman for the Boston Pride. Cherie, thanks for joining us here this afternoon. Just want to talk a little bit about your experience this year. What's it been like as a professional hockey player in Boston so far?
Absolutely. It's been a dream come true. We're having a lot of fun thus far. The season's only half over, so we have a ways to go. But, yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and we're excited about it.
Noticing some of the various apparel that you're wearing, the Scotiabank Outdoor Women's Classic and the Winter Classic logo. Can you kind of bring us through what that experience was like playing at Gillette against Les Canadiens of the CWHL, and kind of just everything that went involved with that game and everything that came about during that week as well?
Sure, it was definitely a whirlwind. We were finding out things a little bit last minute, but it was an amazing experience. It was certainly an awe moment. Walking out there, I mean, nothing can really prepare you for that. So I think we all had goosebumps going out there. First couple minutes of the game, we were all a bit nervous, but once we got our legs under us, it was actually a pretty good game. So we were excited to play them. We thank Montreal for coming down, and obviously it was an amazing experience. Thanks to NHL for having us.
Have you ever played in a football stadium like that before? No, nothing
I haven't.
That big?
Yeah, that was definitely a first. First for a lot of us. My first big outdoor game. So, I mean, I played on outdoor rinks in the backyard of family members' houses growing up, but nothing like that for sure.
Now, just a little bit about you as well. Boxford, Mass, so local, growing up around the area. How has it been in your community and just around Boston with the response from the fans, the youth teams, to women's hockey, professional women's hockey, and the Pride?
The response has been really great. People recognize us sometimes on the streets for wearing our Pride stuff. They lean out the car and say, "Go Pride," which is pretty neat. But yeah, we've had a lot of good support here in Boston. Our crowds have been pretty great. They've been into the games, so we really appreciate that.
Also for this Boston team ahead 2-1, I was talking to your assistant coach, Lauren McAuliffe. Power play in that first period, two of them get a power play goal, give up a shorthanded goal. What do you think Coach Jay's talking to them in the locker room about for adjustments heading into the second and also starting on the power play in the second period?
Yeah, I think our power play does look a lot better. Obviously, we gave up the shorthanded goal. We've been working on that a lot lately, and we're certainly getting a lot of great chances. So I think he's just going to say, keep up the chances, keep shooting the shots on net, and eventually they'll go in for us.
And also for you guys in the middle of this 4-game winning streak as well. Started the season a little slow, but you found your stride. What's been the biggest difference between this team from 5 games ago to where you are now in this 4-game winning streak?
I think it's a process. Like any season, the team goes through ups and downs, and we definitely hit a rough patch there for a couple games. But we've been, working through it in practice and spending a lot of time on the power play, making the simple plays. Bobby's been really working on, being predictable a little bit in what we're doing, so we each know where we're going to be instead of being so creative, as he likes to say. But yeah, we're working at it, and things are finally coming together.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Cherie, for joining us in between the first period here. Boston ahead 2-1 over Buffalo. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back with more on ESPN3 and NESN. Just about to start the second period between the Boston Pride and the Buffalo Beauts here on NESN and ESPN3 inside the Bright Landry Hockey Center in Cambridge. Tim Culverhouse, Erica Lawler with you. Boston ahead 2-1. They'll start the second on the power play. This Pride team, 14 shots on net. What have you liked out of their performance so far in this first period, Erica?
The shots on net. It's all about shots on goal.
Very simple.
Absolutely. Just straight to the point, shots on net. You got to do it if you want to score. You got to shoot the puck if you want to score. So it creates a lot of energy and creates a lot of momentum. And I think that, going into this period, they should be aiming to do the same thing.
Brittany Ott in goal for the Pride. Only 7 saves in that first period. Not tested too much, but when she did have to be, she made all the saves except for one.
Yeah, goaltending is a huge part of the game. They have so much control over the outcome of the game. And, Brittany Ott, both goalies are playing really well. Big saves on both ends of the ice. The Buttes goaltender as well, as you see here. But it's usually a battle of the goaltenders, and right now, both goalies are playing great.
Field going to the net hard there a couple of times. We highlighted her in the pregame show. There's that first goal of the game from the Buttes' Haley Brown. And then the Pride answer right back with two quick ones, Hillary Knight and then also Jordan Smelker. Brittany Ott made a great save right there on that breakaway from Megan Duggan. You were talking about that when that happened. Duggan tried to make maybe one move too much, and Ott read it, and also an instance where Ott just got everything in the way of it when it mattered.
Yeah, I actually think it was a great move by Megan Duggan, a great idea. She had, if she was able to get it from her forehand or her backhand on there, I think she would have scored. But Britt Ott had, did a good job getting her stick on the puck there. If she didn't, probably would have resulted in a goal against. So, yeah, definitely hats off to her and both goaltenders. I think they've both been playing really well.
Something you possibly taught Megan when you guys were at Wisconsin? Or?
You know what? When it came to scoring goals, she usually was the one teaching me.
You don't have to be so modest, but absolutely. So we're ready for the second period here. Boston and Buffalo. The Pride will be on a power play for the next minute 9 seconds. Switching ends of the ice, they will be moving from left to right. And Boston with that 2-1 lead, scoring on the power play and then also giving up a shorthanded goal. We'll see what happens in the next 55 seconds. Long cross ice pass finds Decker. She breaks into the zone. Knight, one-timer, stick save made by Makala. Right off the bat, Boston getting good possession in the offensive zone on the advantage. And a strong stick from Haley Brown, able to knock it out of the zone, diving in, pushes it further. Here comes Boston once again. It's Knight in the slot. Decker shooting, pad save, and no rebound as Makala holds on for the whistle.
That was a great play to attack on the transition. You see it again. Hillary Knight going down the sideboard, slowed up a bit, finds Decker in the slot, and Decker has a wide open net in the slot. She's not someone you want to have in that zone. It's a very dangerous zone. Goaltender did a great job covering up that puck and absorbing that puck from the slot.
And Makala also making herself look big in there. Not a lot of room to shoot that time for Decker coming through. And a quick discussion here between a couple of players and the officials. It's Duggan as well as for Boston. Amanda Pelkey, but for Makala so far 14 saves on the game. Not sure what the delay here is for, but looks like we're ready for the puck drop in the offensive zone of the Pride. Taken down and won by Boston. Gedman into the corner, goes past Bowie, and pinching in for the Pride is Smelker. 8 seconds left on the power play. Boston needs to be aware of that player coming out of the box. Pelkey back to the point. Gedman, D-to-D. Shot coming from Bolden. Save once again by Makala. Power play is over. Back to 5-on-5. Cross ice. Bolden with the wrist shot, looking for a tip. Save again. But Boston gets the rebound. Another shot wide from Gedman. That gets the end boards, and Buffalo gets a breather for the moment. Up the ice is Devin Skeets. At a 2-on-2, but the Buttes turn it over. Back to even strength. Minute 40 into this second period with Boston ahead by a goal. Tandem defense over there, and Bolden comes up with the puck, and Boston can make their way into neutral ice. Active step once again from Buffalo defensively, Kelly McDonald. That causes the turnover. Self-pass from Field, gets past one, not two, as the Buttes collapse. McDonald turns it over, turning, shooting is Field. Great save by Makala. Not a smart play that time from Buffalo defensively.
Yeah, whenever you're going to take the puck in the slot as a defenseman, you're taking a risk, and you know that when you're going into it. Fieldy did a great job turning over the puck, getting her puck onto the stick, getting a shot to the net. Those are the kinds of things that are going to give the Pride an advantage. They're going to give it's going to give the Pride the momentum they need probably to get a couple more goals. So it's important for the Buttes to stay mindful of where they're willing to take the puck and where they shouldn't be.
Lannis wins the faceoff from Kunichia. Lannis with it right now, looking for the backhand, looking for Pickett, but it's broken up by Buffalo. Ridden off the play on the near side, Marvin able to shield past Kunichia to his side. Lannis an extra whack, no penalty, turnover down low. Here comes Buffalo out front. Ott poke check saves it. Now Boston, if they hurry, one-on-one for Pickett. Pickett cuts back, shot blocked and turned aside by Harrington. Lannis takes it back over to Pickett. He's in the corner, and Kunichia gets in the way of it. Harrington worked over by Smelker, able to go DDD to Falzer. Falzer with Smelker as Boston ramps up the forechecking pressure. Decker with a little bit of contact on Harrington. Officials' arms stayed down. And Boston hemming Buffalo in their own zone for the moment. Falzer doesn't get a lot on the clearance, but then she's able to knock it down and clear it. And that will make its way into the Boston defensive end.
Yeah, the Buttes are having a difficult time handling the pressure of the Pride offense, and they're doing a great job putting the pressure on, not giving them much time, trying to take an extra stick handle when it's not necessary.
Knight off the turnover, shoots it across the crease, can't get it on net. But another dangerous opportunity for Boston. Streaking up the ice is Megan Duggan. She shoots, that's tipped and gloved easily by Ott for the whistle.
You never know, though. Those kind of shots to net, or those kind of plays can be a little bit fluky sometimes. You never know what kind of bounce they're going to take. So whatever the Buttes can get right now, I'd be throwing it on net.
They're absolutely right. And that one gets tipped in the slot, and it just goes from a fastball to a changeup from about 30 feet out. But Ott able to track it the entire way and get the stoppage. Off the faceoff in the far corner. 3 aside to make that 2 aside from each team battle. Centering pass goes behind the net. Pinching for Buffalo is Grigg. She keeps it in. In the corner winning the battle, that was Haley Brown. Delay penalty coming here. I believe it's going to be on the Pride for a hook, as Brown was impeded in that puck race. See what the call on this one is. Looks like it's going to be on Gigi Marvin for the stick infraction.
Yeah, it looks like the past few minutes have been a little bit chippy with the sticks. It was only a matter of time before a penalty was going to be called because of it. You saw Rachel Lannis, I think that her shift prior to this one, kind of getting a little chippy out there with one of the Buttes players as well. So it's only a matter of time until those things are going to get called. Can only get away with it for so long.
So the first power play opportunity now for Buffalo and for the Buttes, as that one's out front. Ott gets a piece of it and out wide. To the slot, shot misses just wide on the post. That was from McDonald. She was able to clear that through. The body's out front. Down low. Now back up to the point on the stick of Bozek. She has it once again. Out wide. Another opportunity in front for McDonald. Has it poked away. Bozek once again. Thinks about rush, turns it around. Still a minute 15 left on the advantage. Duggan down low, looking for a pass in front for Aaron Zach, but hops over her stick, pinching and keeping it in is McDonald. Back to the point once again. Bozek, shot wide, tipped near the slot and wide once again. One-on-one battle and good strength from Bolden. She's able to clear it down the length of the ice.
The Buttes have Megan Bozek at the top of the key on the power play. I would be probably running plays to get her to shoot the puck because she's got a phenomenal shot back there. It's hard, it's low, always a good opportunity for her to score cleanly or for them to get a rebound opportunity or chance in front.
Hillary Knight and Bozek connect behind the net, and Kunichia will settle things down. 20 left on the power play for Buffalo. Kunichia's pass hops over the stick of McDonald, or make that Haley Brown, I should say, and that will wind into the last 10 of the advantage for the visitors. Stretch pass finds Falzer with a burst of speed going down the wing, tries to center it, tipped for the moment and kept from out in front of the net. Back to the point. Stedman. Wide, make that Grigg. An opportunity for Boston, back to 5-on-5 with 13:35 left to go in the first period. And it will be an icing on Boston as Gagliardi's pass too far in front of Hillary Knight. So we'll stay right here. But the Pride able to kill off that power play. And a couple of instances out high, as you mentioned, Erica, from Megan Bozek, but nothing too dangerous on Ott where she couldn't see it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the Buttes were able to get a single shot on that power play. A decent amount of puck movement, maybe a little bit too much. I would have liked them to make it more of a shooting gallery than anything, especially because they're playing down right now. But hey, that's what next time's for.
Yeah, absolutely. Mangine has her stick lifted. That shot all the way towards the net. Ott makes a save there. Goes down to the butterfly and gets it with both pads. And getting the loose puck for the rebound is Smelker, and she'll try to calm things down here for Boston. After a good shot coming from the point. Contact out high, and now dumped into the zone for Boston. That's Bowie in on the forecheck. Wraps up her defender. That was Falzer. Didn't like it very much, but play on. In the feet of Lannis, Emily Field with it. She comes into the zone, shoots a low shot out wide, save. Can't get a piece of it. Bowie, and she was contacted out front. Bowie leaves it off for Field in the circle, looking for Bowie once again. Matching 23s there is Grigg and Bowie battle. To the point, Gedman, shot, tip just wide from Field. Makela there as well as Field gets upended. And Buffalo able to get it into neutral ice, and Fickle attempts to backhand it in, but loose puck taken by Pelkey. Pelkey taking the rush, breaks into the zone, shooting, blocker save just underneath the net as Makela gets a piece.
It's so important for Fickle to get that puck in deep, because now the Pride turns around and they're playing in their offensive zone. It could have been a different story if she, took care of the puck on those crucial areas of the ice.
Pelkey gets the pass from Dempsey, trying the wraparound all the way back to the point. Shot tipped wide. Bolden got everything on that, but couldn't get to the net. Yep. Dempsey underneath her stick.
Bolden has taken a lot of shots this period. I love it when she winds up to shoot. More often than not, she's getting the puck to the net and creating a rebound.
She really stepped into that shot from the point. Nobody in front. The full backswing. Now in the Buffalo offensive end. Stick work from Dempsey, knocks the puck loose. Cook in the slot, drop pass, looking for a Knight from Dempsey just behind her. Knight corrals the loose puck, starting the cycle game once again. Kelly Cook from Andover, Massachusetts. Passes across the slot. Marvin can't corral it, but Knight can in the slot, looking for Smelker. She's upended. Knight wins the puck battle, centering pass. Tipped aside once again. It's hang on time here for Buffalo as Boston ramping up the pressure.
Yeah, the Pride look really strong, really fast right now. They're putting in a ton of pressure, and the Buttes are having a really, really tough time dealing with it right now.
Knight, nice pass, finds Decker, shot, pad, save, and grabbing the rebound is Makela as Decker was looking for the loose puck. 10:33 left to go in the second period. Boston 2, Buffalo 1 here on NESN and ESPN 3. Back inside the Bright Landry Hockey Center with NESN and ESPN 3. Brittany Ott making a great save on that shot from the point. And just a moment ago, Erica, big save from Makela to keep it a 2-1 game.
Yeah, as we mentioned, it's a battle of the goaltenders right now. They're both playing great. They're both keeping their teams in this game, and they're having great team. That gives a team a lot of confidence when your goaltender's playing that well. So, hats off to both of the goaltenders so far this game.
Duggan tries the dipsy-do, can't get around Bolden. And Boston able to take control. Hillary Knight with the head of steam through neutral ice, slows it down. Cross ice pass does connect with Gagliardi. but can't get the shot off. Decker back to the point, room for Marvin, shot tipped, and Knight gets a piece of it, and it will deflect to the netting, stay in the rink, but we'll have another stoppage at the 10:04 mark. And Boston really in this period using their points and getting shots on net.
Yeah, using their points certainly not only in the zone but also off the rush. In transition, you see the fourth man coming down, which is usually a defender, and they're opening up the ice in the slot, and they're finding them wide open. You just saw Hillary Knight find her defender Gags right in the slot. I love when the defender.
Lana's backhand pass into the stick of Bowie. She can't get the shot off, but a great chance denied by the Buttes.
Yeah, Pride's really, really ramping it up, really taking control of the game.
9:46 left to go. Boston 2, Buffalo 1. And it'll be a face-off in neutral ice after the offsides. And we will step aside here with the score 2-1 on Nesson and ESPN 3. Thanks for tuning in. Another great save as we welcome you back inside. Makela able to rob Corinne Bowie on that shot right out front. And Makela getting down low. Nowhere really for Bowie to go in that instance, Erica.
Yeah, there wasn't, and there was 3 defenders on her as well. So that always helps, when you're feeling that pressure as a forward. You don't have that much time to maybe make a move down and tight like that.
And also, even if Bowie was able to get a shot off, I don't think she was able to get it over the body. Is a wraparound here out front. Ott dives out, can't get the loose puck. She's without a stick for the moment. Now she tries to pick it up as the shot from the point goes wide. But Buffalo, off that faceoff, gets possession in the zone. They still have it here, pushing Boston into their own defensive end. To the point, Falzer spins with it, works around Bowie. And she's in a one-on-one battle in the corner. Make it 2-on-2 from each team now. And it will be pushed towards the net. Ott stops it and sets things up for Boston. Can't be tipped out of the zone just yet. And Bolden able to connect and get it as far as the red line. Field comes over, gets a piece of it, leaves it over to Bowie, and Boston will go for a change. McDonald, good outlet pass, connecting in stride with McGowan. McGowan, wrist shot, doesn't get all of it, but Ott struggles with it, rebound backhanded wide.
The Buttes are doing a good job trying to give themselves a little bit more life in this period. They're doing more of the little things, just getting the pucks in net, trying to play simple and play smart.
On that last shot, Ott had it for a moment, then squirted wide to her left. And nearly an opportunity off the rush once again from McGowan.
Yeah, the little things like that are going to be really helpful for the Buttes. Try to get some energy back and get the momentum in their favor.
Being outshot right now, 24-10 at the 8:01 mark of the second period. Long pass looking for Cooked. It's batted down for the moment and dumped back in for Buffalo. Boston resets behind their own net. Pass over the stick of Kelly Cook, but she battles her way and gets it into the offensive zone before Buffalo fires it towards Ott, and she'll come out and play it with icing waved off and leave it for Megan Mangine. And Jean draws the defender and leaves it to her defensive partner, Gigi Marvin, who flips it out long. Bouncing puck taken by Pelkey. Pelkey, one-on-one now. Shot tip saved by Makela. Getting a piece of that was Smelker, just in the right spot at the right time. Dumped in once again, Gedman. As Boston looks to set up the forecheck. Decker has her pass intercepted and out once again to the stick of Marissa Gedman. Framingham native just down the road here. Dad played in Major League Baseball as well, as that pass goes down for an icing. 2-1, but Gedman, good genes for her, local girl. Coming back to where she played her collegiate hockey, and good tradition here at Harvard. I know you're from Wisconsin, so playing with the Badgers there, another great school with a hockey tradition. We're seeing a lot of it here today with both players on both teams with the Badgers.
Oh yeah, you got Duggan, Decker, Niter. There's a few notable Badgers right there, and you get a couple Gophers too, but we won't talk about them.
Minnesota might be a dirty word in the state of Wisconsin in the hockey men's and women's world. Tipped out, and going in the race is Fickle. Winning it though for Boston is Gigi Marvin, and she's behind her own net. Puck stripped from her behind the cage of Ott. One-on-one battle as Decker and a Butte collide, and it will be another penalty coming on Boston. Delayed call on the Pride. 6-on-5 right now for the moment for Buffalo. Centering pass, tipped out wide. Couple of saves, and then it's batted in. And Buffalo does not need the power play. They tie it at 2 and try to get a number for you on the goal. And it looks like it might be Falzer getting that one right in front of the net.
That was a huge goal for the Buttes. That's exactly what they needed, and they did it by, just grinding it out, bearing down in front of the net, and being strong. And that's what they're going to have to do to continue to score and continue to do well in this game. Is they're going to have to get their bearings, bear down on the puck. They're going to have to stand strong because, the Pride, they're bringing it to them right now with a lot of energy and a lot of speed. So, the way you can respond to that is to just work hard, work just as hard as them, and bear down in front. Make sure you're burying those opportunities, and that was a great job.
Looked like that may have been Haley Brown on the replay. We'll wait for the official announcement. If it is Brown, that will be her second of the game, as she just outworked the Boston defender and poked it past Ott to tie it at 2.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was Brown. You watch her out there every single shift. She's probably the hardest worker on the ice, and those kind of goals where there's a loose puck and it's a 50-50 battle for it, and there's bodies flying everywhere. It's going to be those hard workers that end up executing on them.
Lannis has it in the corner, looking to turn, goes back to the point, leaves it for Bolden, thinks about the shot, backhands it in. And it will be Brown. That's her second of the game for Buffalo. To the point once again for Boston. Bolden nowhere to shoot, so she'll rim it around the lower side of the boards. Pinching in, Mangine keeps it in. And everything now to the outside for the Pride. Maybe some fatigue that you mentioned, Erica, from national team practice setting in as Buffalo tries to get a 2-on-1, can't do it. And that will be an icing on Boston, as a Buffalo defender actually slipped and helped that icing along.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if fatigue starts to become an issue later on in the second period. So right now it's probably starting to set in a little bit, and then they're going to have a little bit of time to regroup in between periods and see what they can do for the third. But it's a great opportunity for the Buttes to take advantage of a situation like that.
Long bus ride from Buffalo, but a lot of travel for the national team practices getting back here as well. Ott makes a save, can't get the loose puck. But not the worst thing in the world if you're Boston when you have about a third of your team in national team training. So they'll live with it.
Yeah, I think you can live with that. You got some talent on that bench.
And it was a high sticking, and it makes its way all the way back down to Makla, and the faceoff will be in her end as well at the 4:49 mark of the second period. Boston out shooting Buffalo 26-11 on the faceoff. Dempsey, she loses it cleanly as Haley Williams gets it. Spun down is Pelkey. She's slow to get up. A little bit of contact for her behind the net. She's up skating once again. Gagliardi flips it back in as Pelkey makes her way to the bench. Makala leaves, a little bit of miscommunication as Dempsey in on the forecheck. Rafter behind the net to Falzer. Knight over there looking to strip the pass off the stick of McGowan, and a long backhand into the Boston end. Smelker turns it over. In neutral ice, Aaron Zach with it. She has some speed, working past Knight. Zach shot wide. There just in case. Decker has it jump over her stick as well. Now Hillary Knight with a little bit of speed. Boston 3-on-2 if they hurry. Pass just in front of Smelker, and there goes the 3-on-2. And slipping over there is Aaron Zach. Had a one-on-one opportunity. Just couldn't stay on the feet. Opportunity now. It's Bozek. It was delayed offside, so she has to wait and reset. Both teams trying to connect on some passes through neutral ice as Buffalo really clogs it up in their defensive structure, and Boston now has to retreat defensively. It's Kunichia, her shot deflected wide. And off the bench with a head of steam, that's Skeets. Goes down awkwardly, she's okay. Back to the point, Falzer, slap shot, blocked. That's Knight getting in the way of it. Now Buffalo will set up the cycle. Kunichia drops it out, centering pass, nobody home except somebody wearing gold and black. It'll be Pelkey. Gonna make that Emily Field. Back to Hillary Knight, shot, glove save by Makela. Looked behind her for a second, but she had it in the trapper. Great save from her. 2:50 to go in this second period. Boston and Buffalo tied at 2. And a big save from Makela will send us to a commercial break as Boston and Buffalo round out this second period with things even at 2. You're watching the NWHL on ESPN3 and NESN. Team practices, are they in
Blaine, Minnesota.
Okay.
Yep. It's the evaluation camp for World Championships in April.
Where are they this year? I can look it up between periods, but
I
it's the
couldn't tell you.
IAHF one, right?
IAHF, yeah.
Back inside the Wright Landry Hockey Center, taking a look at the tying goal as it was Haley Brown poking in a loose puck right in the crease as Buffalo has tied this one up at 2. Tim Culverhouse and Erica Lawler with you above the ice here at Harvard. And Boston out shooting them 28-11, time of possession all in favor of the home team, but scoreboard still reads 2-2, Erica.
Yeah, it does. I mean, and you watch that second goal too. I mean, it wasn't an easy goal to get. She kind of whiffed a little bit on it. Oh.
Still loose in the slot, and it does cross the goal line, but an immediate washout as we have some extracurricular activities here. And Emily Field is steaming after that one. Wants a piece of Devin Skeets as there is some contact there, but a loose puck, just a harmless wrist shot, jumped over Makela's blocker, and it was sitting loose in the crease for about 3 seconds. And nobody could get a piece of it, and then finally Buffalo realized it, and it was a free-for-all right in the crease.
Yeah, I think that the net came off the post and was dislodged prior to the puck going over the goal line. So, yeah, the puck was just sitting there. Emily Falzer saw it and tried to shove it back underneath the goalie's pads, and then, you know, pig pile.
Bowie gets wiped out. She's the only person that really saw for Boston. That puck, from our broadcast point here, we're right behind Makela, so we could see that puck sitting right between her pads, and then Buffalo 2 defenders realized it was there. It's looking like they're going to distribute some penalties here for the physical play after that, but an instance there where Bowie was able to see the puck. Makela never had it, and great positioning by the official as well. Some instances, if they're on the other side of the ice, they don't see that loose puck, but she's right over there in the corner, and you can see her underneath your screen loose. Puck is still not covered, and the puck does cross the goal line, and I guess now the question is, will it be reviewed, because did that cross before the whistle came? And the official's ruling immediately was a washout to say no goal.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some more penalties being called on that play too. There was a couple punches that were thrown after the whistle as well.
On the board here at Bright Landry, it's Rachel Lannis. She's in the box for Boston. She has 2 minutes on the board. And then for Buffalo, Haley Brown, she's in the box as well. So not sure if we're going to be playing 5-on-5 with both players in the box for 2 minutes, or if we'll play some 4-on-4 hockey. But Lannis was right in there, and she got right in the middle of it, and so did Brown. And Haley Brown from Oakville, Ontario, Lannis from San Jose, California. But a USA-Canada rivalry there as well. So
The USA-Canada rivalry is always present and it never dies. It's
no,
regardless
not.
of what team you're playing for, it's always there.
Doesn't help. Maybe it did help in this instance where each of the players has their respective national team flag on the left side of their jersey. So maybe saw that red and white and maple leaf there from Brown. Lannis saw that as well, but we'll see what the final setting is here after all of the whistles and stoppage, but it will be no goal. The face-off will be in neutral ice. And it looks as though we're going to play 4-on-4 for 2 minutes with Lannis in the box for Boston and Brown in the box for Buffalo. So it'll be 2 minutes each for roughing for Lannis and Brown. No more ice now as we go under 2:30 to go in this second period. Shot off the stick and wide for Buffalo. Puck loose. Ott sticks it aside. Hillary Knight over there working one-on-one with Falzer. One-on-one coverage here. You see this in all levels of hockey. You have a person you're staying with, and that's it. Turning shot, and Ott swallows it up. No whistle. But going back to your playing days here, Erica, 4-on-4 situation. You find your forward, you have the defense, and defenseman, you have the forward, and you have to make sure the communication level's on the ice. You can hear everybody or understanding everybody, because once that puck cycles, you need to make sure you're switching off properly as well.
Yeah, once you turn over possession on a 4-on-4, it's really hard to get it back. It's really a possession game. Whenever you have the puck on your stick on the 4-on-4, you want to do whatever you can to maintain possession of it and make sure that you're finding your teammates who are open, finding them in open space. You don't want to be playing defense on a 4-on-4 because it is a man-on-man situation. It's not really like zone defense, which is a little bit, I guess in my opinion, I like playing a zone defense better than a man-on-man. But as soon as you beat your person on a 50-50, it opens up the ice so much. So it can be a great opportunity to see a lot of scoring opportunities.
Interesting position for Buffalo off the faceoff. Had 3 on the ice, and they made a quick change. Rick Sealing, the coach for the Buttes, tried to make a change. That shot goes wide, but instead they had to wait until the puck was dropped, and now still 4-on-4 with 1:05 left and 1:45 left in this second period. Turning with it at the point is Falzer. Shakes away from her defender. That's Dempsey, but Dempsey stays with her. Now Dempsey steals the puck. Good one-on-one effort. 2-on-1 for Boston if they hurry. Pelkey and Dempsey. Pelkey goes with it, passes just out of reach of Dempsey. That was worked beautifully between those two, but just out of reach of Jillian Dempsey.
Yeah, she had the goalie moving and everything on that. I don't think the goaltender was anticipating that little drop pass.
Pelkey now shooting, blocked, and stopping the shot was Grigg. And then Makela takes the loose puck as the teams meet once again in front of the blue paint. But a chippiness here in this second period. You mentioned in the first too, Erica.
Yeah, it is getting a little chippy out here right now. I wouldn't be surprised if you see the refs calling a little bit more to try to gain control of the game. But and especially now when the game's tied up at 2, these players are going to want to win the game, and they're going to do whatever they can to do it. And sometimes that takes a little extra effort, and people get frustrated. Your emotions get going, and you're going to see some chippy plays.
Hillary Knight has it hop over her stick. She had a great chance off the faceoff, and then Decker tipped the shot right afterward that missed just wide. But Boston with some firepower out here with Decker and Knight up front as the clock winds down, and that will be the end of the 4-on-4. So back to even strength for both teams with the last 40 of this second period. Long cross ice pass looking for Hillary Knight. Too long, not enough snow, and the icing is waved off as Harrington unable to continue the race. As Knight in on the forecheck, turns it over. Cook Hops over her stick. She leaves it now for Gagliardi. She flips it in the last 15 of the second period. Cook over there giving a couple whacks to Brown. Kept in. Flipped towards the slot just past Dempsey. 5 seconds left. Still a chance here. First shot tipped wide. Still loose out front. Cook passes it through the slot under Makela. And Makela couldn't grab it. And Boston another chance at the buzzer. And they just can't find the loose puck. Out shooting Buffalo 32-12 after 2 periods. But Boston really at the end there once again, Erica, ramping up the pressure, just missed, taking the lead once again.
Yeah, they are. They're putting great pressure on. And as we mentioned, too, that you can see their fatigue setting in a little bit, too, at this time. I think what they're going to have to do in the third period is figure out a way to manage their energy a little better.
And Boston with that 2-2. Here we are with Buffalo. We'll have the second period intermission, a couple more interviews here with you. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday afternoon of the NESN and ESPN3 presentation of the National Women's Hockey League. The first games after the new year, so the 2016 portion of the inaugural year of the NWHL is underway between the second place Boston Pride and the second place Buffalo Beauts. Second intermission between Boston and Buffalo on the NWHL. Today's broadcast on ESPN3 and NESN. Tim Culverhouse now joined in the broadcast booth by the general manager of the Buffalo Beauts. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that, Linda Morose. Linda, Buffalo, first season in the NWHL. What's this entire season been like for you, putting together the team, the tryout camps to start the year, and now where we are at the midway point of the season?
You know what, I just have to say that, it's a lot of fun being where we are and watching these women progress through the season, and just from the training camp and there he is, from the training camps to, our preseason and working out and just watching them grow as a family, and you can see it on the ice. They take care of one another and on and off the ice, and it's a lot of fun. And a lot of these women, they work hard no matter what. Day in and day out, they don't give up, and that's what I think Buffalo is about, just being that hardworking city. And same thing with our team.
You went to Niagara, that's where your college career continues to live in the area as well. You mentioned the community aspect of it. What's the response been from the Buffalo community to this Beauts team as they've gotten off the floor with this first season and then continued on through where we are right now?
Our fans are unbelievable. I mean, they are there every Sunday that we're home and cheering us on. I mean, we have crowds between 800 to 1,000 people, and we're competing with the Buffalo Bills. I mean, that's usually the time when the Bills are playing, and we're a diehard football town, so we have the Bills Mafia, so competing with them and still bringing out those crowds, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Our fans are great.
What have you noticed from a change from your team from game one to where we are right now in the season?
Really, they just have grown together. You know, you look at a lot of these teams, and a lot of them are the superstars from their other teams, and they're finding new roles and stuff like that. So, you know, for these women to come together and really start to play and pass the puck and move it and just know where one another are, it's not like we practice every day. So it's a great opportunity to watch. I'm extremely jealous of them. Where was this 10 years ago? But, you know, being behind the scenes and being able to just walk around the crowds and just listen to some of our fans, especially in Buffalo, and, you know, I make sure that I thank them for coming and supporting us and supporting these women, and we couldn't ask for anything better.
Ever have the urge to lace up the skates, get out there, practice?
I actually have, and
Okay.
I hand out more tickets than I should. So I'm like, you know what? Thanks so much for making me feel old. So the girls they laugh. You know, they're like, oh, you know, she's just coming out to be a pylon. But it's fine. You know, we all like to just give each other jabs every now and then. So.
What have you seen out of your team so far today as well? 2-2 game.
Yeah, you know, it's really great because, again, hardworking, they won't give up. It doesn't matter if we're down 1 goal or 6 goals. Our team does not give up, and they'll keep going until that final buzzer.
Linda Mirage, general manager of the Buffalo Beauts, here in between periods, first and second, Boston 2, Buffalo 2, here on NESN and ESPN 3. Back with more in the second intermission between Boston and Buffalo here on ESPN 3 and NESN. Tim Culverhouse now joined in the broadcast booth by Boston Pride assistant coach Dave Jensen. Dave, thanks for joining us here once again on this Sunday. What have you liked so far out of your team in this one?
Well, I think we got a really good pace. We're definitely a skating and skill team, so you know, we're moving the puck to the net. We got to get bodies to the net. And we like the cycle game. We feel like we're one of the quickest teams in the league, so we got to move our feet and be aggressive and get scoring chances that way.
How has the team dynamic changed when you get so many players back from national team practice and preparation? Hillary Knight, Brianna Decker, that entire lot. What has that done for your team for today?
Well, I think it gives us a little bit of a boost. You know, coming into the last couple of games, losing players like that can put you at a disadvantage, but you know, hard work, moving your feet, and playing the system. Hockey's a simple game. You want to keep it simple, and it's a north-south game for us, even with our most skilled players.
In this game so far, 2 goals, 1 on the power play, 1 on even strength for you, a little bit of 4-on-4, so a little bit of everything in this game. but can you kind of talk about what the practices are like for this team, for you, and how you're getting ready for all these games so far this season?
Well, the practices, Bobby Jay's the head coach. He does a great job. It's high pace, it's transitional, it's all hockey reality. It's similar to what we used to do when I was on the Olympic team. You know, high transitional play. And if you can see the way these girls play, they're at top speed. We want to keep it at top speed. Everything we do is at top speed because we have the players who can do it.
With Buffalo kind of clogging the neutral zone, this is something that Erica and I have been mentioning. How are you trying to combat that and get those breakouts where you're able to get clean entry into the zone and then set up your cycle game?
Well, we got to stay wide with our wingers and want to move the puck immediately. You know, trying to transition again. We need to get our forwards back quick, get the puck D to D, up to the forward, and have that center iceman come in with the support. So we got to kick it out quick and move our feet again.
How has your season been from opening night to where we are right now? 10 games in, already past the midway point. So what's your season been like? How have you been enjoying being a part of the Boston Pride, the inaugural season of the NWHL as well?
Well, I think it's been phenomenal. For me personally, I love women's hockey. My daughter plays softball at MIT, and she played softball at a high level all through high school, up through college. And, you know, seeing this pace in hockey, you know, being a hockey player myself this year, it's unbelievable. I'm sure it's great on TV, but in person, you see it here.
Oh,
it's phenomenal. It's world-class hockey, and it's right there with the men's hockey. So from here to now, I think the girls are just picking it up, and it's a pleasure for me to be a part of. And again, I think this is going to grow, and you see the fan base here for women, you know, for young girls hockey. It's unbelievable.
Dave Jensen, assistant coach of the Boston Pride. He's right now in a 2-2 game with Buffalo. Let you head back down in the locker room. Thanks for joining us again.
Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, Dave.
Appreciate it.
We'll be back after this. Alrighty. Back inside the Bright Landry Hockey Center, 2-2 after 2 between the Boston Pride and the Buffalo Beauts. NWHL coverage on NESN and ESPN3. Tim Culverhouse, Erica Lawler with you, ready to start the third period. Boston out shooting Buffalo 32-12. Saw some 4-on-4 play, power play, shorthanded, had a bit of everything. But so far the story, and you mentioned this in the pregame, the goaltending. Brittany Ott and also Makela for Buffalo, very strong today.
Yeah, they are. And you know, if you're a hockey fan, you know how influential the goaltending can be at the for the outcome of the game. You know, a lot of the time it's a battle of the goaltender. What goaltender is going to come out hot? You know, which one's not? And I think right now you're seeing that both goalies are playing great, and it's just a matter of time probably until someone gets a hard-working goal. But that's what it's going to come down to at the end here. Who's going to who's going to grind down and get into those dirty areas and be able to capitalize on one of those rebounds or the garbage in front.
We're taking a look at the second period highlights, and you mentioned this in the pregame show. A lot of dirty, not highlight reel goals, everything right near the net, and then some extracurricular activities here. But you know, all those rebound and garbage goals, as they call them in hockey, that's been the story of this one so far.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, with all those hits behind the play too, these guys don't show a little bit more discipline in the third period. You can anticipate a lot of players spending a little bit of time in the box this period. So, you know, they got to reel it in, make sure that they're playing clean hockey, fast hockey, and take responsibility for their actions on the ice.
Just about ready for the third period puck drop between Boston and Buffalo. Thank you once again for joining us on this Sunday afternoon on NESN and ESPN3. The Pride at 7-3 on the year. Buffalo 1-7-0-2. So here we go, ready to go for the third. It will be Lanis on the face-off for Boston, and then Kunichia for Buffalo. Boston will be in the home gold and black, and Buffalo in the silver with the navy and blue trim. Buffalo with possession to start the third period. And Kunichia dumps it in and set up the forward check. Behind the net, trying to one-hand it for Boston. That was Marvin. Then finally worked its way out to Bowie. Bowie, a little bit of room, tries to shoot. Poke checked away by Falzer. She's been everywhere so far. Make that Kelly McDonald, I should say. Excuse me. Centering pass. And the mitt hops on it from Amanda Makala. She's made 30 saves so far in this one.
Yeah, you said at the beginning of the game what they average 4 goals against on, you know, so far this season. Is that
4 goals against for Buffalo. Boston averaging 46 shots on net. Not out of the realm of question yet, but Makala has been strong so far.
Yeah, very strong.
In the corner, Smelker. Tries to center it, looking for a Knight, kept in by Bolden. Bolden along the kick plate. Loose puck, Smelker once again. Centering pass, Hillary Knight shooting from the slot, block, second opportunity. Left pad save by Makala. Knight winning the one-on-one battle, gets in front of Lindsey Grigg. And it's 2-on-2 right now in that far corner, getting a close-up look of it in your living room. Knight wiggles past one, still has possession of the puck. Backhands it, looking for Gedman. Gedman walks in, shot tip goes behind the net. Taken once again for Boston, all the way back to the point. It's Bolden, she trips, still gets it in deep. Knight centers, nobody home. Pass back, Hillary Knight shooting, save, and Makala looks behind her, but she pins it between the blocker and the jersey.
I think that was Hillary Knight's third shot of that shift. She had 2 back-to-back right in the slot, right in the middle of the slot, at the beginning of the shift, and then at the end she gets that pass right from Smelker, and again, wide open for the shot. The Buttes are going to have to, you know, find her and not allow her to get those kind of shots on net, because they're going to go in eventually.
Off the face-off, back to Mangine. She shoots, tipped wide. Dempsey got a stick on it. Boston winning all the foot races so far. Cook has it poked away from her, and Buffalo was able to clear it out for the first time in the third period. Turning with it, Gagliardi through the legs to Dempsey. Works as a pass to Pelkey. And Pelkey run into for the moment by Paige Harrington. 5'11" Paige Harrington, one of the taller players on the ice, and she uses all of her frame there. Gagliardi in a battle, and Dempsey retreats and spills it over to Mangine. Cook with a little bit of room off the boards, looking for that self pass, can't connect. Right in front of the Buffalo bench, Dempsey gains control, working 1-on-2. And a good stick right there from Bozek. Into neutral ice, Kunichia cutting to the right. Now looking for the wraparound, has it hop over her blade. In a cycle, winning the foot races, Devin Skeet. She has some room, turnaround shot, and blocked. Getting a piece of that was Marvin. Now a chance, turning, shooting, puck still in the slot, and Boston able to take it. Turning with that was Haley Brown, putting it towards the net, looking for the hat trick. It's Field. Soft shot, misses wide. But Field hustles, able to get to the loose puck. Bumps Kunichia. And now Buffalo will take it. Brown On net, Ott sticks it aside. Big collision. Everybody's up okay, and now Boston will dump it in. 3.5 into this third period, still tied at 2. Falzer has to retreat. And this is the period that you mentioned before the game, Erica. Will fatigue be a factor for the players coming back from national practice?
Yeah, you know what? I think they're used to playing that way, though. You know, they've played tired before, and, you know, when you have a really tough week, being tired just becomes an excuse. And I don't think that they're going to use that as an excuse to, you know, potentially lose this game. So it just comes down to focus.
Cross-ice pass. It's Aaron Zach. She cuts towards the slot. Stick save made once again by Ott. She spills that one over to the corner. Mangine. Behind the net. Smelker. And she'll take some room. Cross-ice pass all the way to Hillary Knight. Thinks about the shot. Now feeds it over to Decker. Shot, score!
That was a great play. You know, you saw Hillary Knight kind of camping out on the far blue line for about 15 seconds, and she was really stretching the ice on that. When they stretch the ice, then the Buttes can't continue to do the same forecheck and the same neutral zone play that they've been playing for the entire game. So, I mean, great heads-up adjustment for the Pride. You know, Bobby J probably responsible for that decision. You know, they give it up to Hillary Knight, who, you know, spits it across to Decker. Results in a goal. So it was a great play by the Pride.
Co-captain, a co-captain for Decker. That will be goal number 6 on the season for her. And Hillary Knight, number 1 in points in the NWHL. Give her 8 assists and 16 points so far in her stellar career in the first season of the National Women's Hockey League. So Boston regains the lead 3-2. 15:30 left to go in the third period. In the corner now for Buffalo. Pelkey knocks down the pass, keeps it in for the moment. Now she takes control of the puck. Winds it behind the net. Finds Gagliardi, back to Dempsey. Glove save, rebound pops out, Boston's there. Gagliardi. Around the boards, Pelkey there once again. Here's that possession once again for Boston. Centering pass. Good stick from Makla. She's able to knock it out of harm's way. 1-on-4 and still getting a shot towards the net was Tatiana Rafter. And that allowed Buffalo to get a full change. Dempsey into the blue line. Now an opportunity here. Breaking through is Haley Brown. She's got 2. Big save from Ott. Gets the blocker on it. And keeps this one a 1-goal advantage for the Pride.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about the goaltending, and that's exactly why. He's getting an opportunity like that on the Buttes. You know, Britt Ott comes up with a huge save. It could be a completely different score right now.
Kept in momentarily. Gedman fires it, rides the dasher. Bowie takes it. Stick handles through 2. Now taking the serpentine route around the offensive zone. Working through the contact. That was Smelker. Leaves it off for Field. And Smelker has it poked away for the moment. Trying to break in is Buffalo. And that was Skeets. Had her stick lifted at the last second. Shot blocked from the point. And it'll leave Megan Mangine out. Mangine wrist shot right into the logo of Makala. And she'll hold for the faceoff. 3-2 the score at the 13:46 mark of the third period. Boston getting the lead back from Brianna Decker off the pass from Hillary Knight. And that's where we are right now. Be right back on NESN and ESPN3. Brianna Decker taking a look at her as she makes her way into the face-off circle. The go-ahead goal right now for the Boston Pride as they lead the Buttes 3-2. The 2014 Olympic silver medalist from Sochi getting the goal on an assist from the puck carrier right now, Hillary Knight. Knight's centering pass missed just wide. Those two were teammates in Sochi. Wrist shot all the way from the point, deflected out front. Was off the stick of Gagliardi. Now it's Buffalo with it. Fickle flips it around Gagliardi. Those two connect for the moment. Inside the corner, Duggan takes the loose puck back to the point. Harrington, no shot, flips it wide. Duggan in there working, tries to go back to the point, but Knight's right there for the interception. Decker and Hillary Knight, and there's going to be another power play coming for Boston as Decker gets upended just outside the blue line, and the Pride will go back to the power play.
This is a great opportunity for the Boston Pride to put their 24 percentage on the power play to work. You know, they're due for one here. What is that? One in every 4 power plays they should be executing. So I think now is their time.
They have one already today. It's going to be Duggan going to the box for the stick infraction. It's also a big penalty killer for this Buffalo team. Duggan, one of the better players for the Buttes. She'll be sitting in the box for the next 2 minutes or shorter, depending on if Boston scores.
Probably one of the best penalty killers in the league, actually. It's going to hurt them, her being in the box.
On the point, Gedman down low. Loose puck in the slot, still loose, and kept in by Boston. De facto 5-on-3, down low pass, upended is Dempsey. Buffalo player lost her stick. So Boston with a lot of room here. Gedman. And a slap shot coming, tipped just wide. That was off the stick of Pelkey, tipped out front by Bowie. Gedman, one-timer, shooting, pad save made by Makala. Harrington over in the corner, can't win the race. Gedman, D to D, cross-ice pass from Bolden. And it works its way back to the point once again. Gedman, down low. Boston will get a change here. Pelkey holding on. Jumping onto the ice is Marvin. Down low once again. Shot tipped by Bowie, and Buffalo trying to get possession. But now the player without the puck, or without the stick, Haley Brown, doesn't have it. Turnover. Boston with it again. Pelkey tries to center it, can't connect, and it bounces loose once again. Marvin, 40 left on the power play for Boston. Nice move by Pelkey. She's shut off. Back to the point to Gagliardi. Tire bodies out there for Buffalo. Shot blocked. Great block by Brown. Now let's see if she can clear it or tie it up. She's going for the tie-up. Looking to kill the last of this power play. To the point, kept in once again by Smelker. Centering pass from Knight, can't get, and now Brown has her stick back. Hillary Knight tries to go between the legs, can't do it. 9 left on the power play. Cross ice, over to Gagliardi, out front. Knight shot blocked away. Entire 2 minutes of the power play have gone, and Boston still with possession.
Yeah, huge shout out to Brown on this power play. She's a soldier out there. She's just a savage. She's getting in front of all these shots. She's like crawling on her knees, you know, doing everything she can to get her stick on the puck. She was battling, I think, without a stick for most of that penalty kill and was doing so much out there. Gotta take your hat off to Brown on that penalty kill. It was impressive.
Could be a huge momentum shift if Buffalo gets the next goal after killing the entire 2-minute power play from within their own defensive zone and basically a 5-on-3.
Yeah, definitely.
Long pass, that's caught. Appeals for offsides. Knight flips it towards Decker, just out of reach.
Yeah, the Buttes aren't used to the Pride stretching the ice like that. Knighter's stretching the ice again on this shift. She was just hanging out in the far blue again. That's how they got their last goal.
And it will be a penalty coming here, as it looks like Decker's going to go to the box. She gets too much stick contact, and that's going to be on Kelly McDonald of Buffalo. So now, after killing off that power play, Buffalo now will go on the advantage and have a chance to tie this one up.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised either. I was anticipating there was going to be a few calls this period, just because it was starting to get really chippy. The play was starting to get really chippy, and it's important for the officials to probably reel it in, and that's what they're doing. So, yeah, now the Buttes turn around. They have an opportunity to play a little offense. That's the fun part of the game.
Absolutely right. Decker in the box. Another weapon for Boston. He'll have to sit, and it will be out of the zone. Bozek unable to handle the clearance, so Buffalo will have to reset. And they do. Flip pass out front. Big save by Ott, then tipped in, score. Devin Skeets on the breakaway. Has this one tied up at 3.
We mentioned Devin Skeets earlier. She came into this game with 7 goals, 1 assist. Big goal scorer, clutch goal scorer for the Buffalo Beauts. That was a very clutch goal. She's very fast. She can break from the crowd really quickly just by using her speed and her quickness, and then she gets her own rebound there against Britt Ott. Britt Ott makes the first save. She's been playing very sound all game. Devin Skeets makes the extra effort, stops in front and buries her own rebound. It was a great play.
Number 8 on the season for Devin Skeets, and her second power play goal of the year as well. And this is a whole new ball game. 3-3, under 10 to go in the third period. See how Boston responds here after a long power play that didn't result in anything, and then Buffalo answers. Here come the Beauts once again. Pass too far out of reach, and it's taken by Gagliardi. Gagliardi gets upended, but it results in a pass to Lana. She has some room, shoots across her body, deflected wide. Tatiana Rafter around the boards, and trying to get that up to McGowan, unable to do so. Upended in the slot is Field, puck still loose. And big contact over there is Field, trying to jam that puck loose, working over there with Falzer of Buffalo. Field back to the point, Bolden backhands it all the way back into the zone. Bowie tries to go behind the net, she's shut off. Now tries to go back to the point and whiffs on the pass, and Buffalo can break out, but there's some tired bodies out there, and it will be an offsides as jumping the gun is Hannah McGowan.
So Tim, what do you think?
Maybe have a little bit of overtime, but we'll come back in just a moment. The NWHL on Nesson and ESPN3, the tying goal from Devin Skeets. We'll be right back in a minute. Back inside Bright Landry Hockey Center, another look at the Devin Skeets goal that tied this one at 3 apiece. And as you mentioned, Erica, Ott makes the first save, but then Skeets just follows her own shot and bangs home the rebound.
Well, when you run into a Huck goaltender, you're usually not going to score on the first shot. So it was a great play for her to kind of slow up and wait around for it to potentially spit right back at her.
In neutral ice, loose puck corralled by Duggan. Her shot, big pad save from Ott as she flashes out the right boot, getting in the way of that Duggan wrister. Behind the net, Buffalo with a jump in their step after the tying goal. And Duggan with it in the far corner to the point to Bozek. That shot blocked out in front by Gagliardi, never got to Ott. Now Gagliardi will try to settle things down here for Boston. 8:08 to go in the third period, tied at 3. Dumped into the zone from Pelkey. And Buffalo wins the race to the puck. Quick outlet pass from Aaron Zach. And that finds Fickle. Wrist shot, make that a slap shot from Duggan. And Duggan is answered by Ott on the blocker.
It was a great pass back from Fickle. You see Megan Duggan winding up with her, she's got her stick back, ready to take that one-timer. You see somebody lined up like that, ready to, you just got to tee it off for them, and that's exactly what she did. It was a great play. I would have done the same exact thing. You see somebody like Megan Duggan just ready to rip it, you better give it to her.
Yours wouldn't end up in the back of the net, though. That's the biggest difference,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
There'll be another icing for Boston in defensive zone face-off. Dempsey into the circle, takes it against Falzer. Falzer wins it, but now Boston takes the loose puck. It's Pelkey working up the ice, runs into Cook. But Boston tries to get a change here. Bolden has her pass intercepted, and it's Falzer once again. Captain of this Buffalo team, drop pass for Rafter. Withstands the pressure, dumps it in along the half wall, but getting in the way of it is Brianna Decker. And Boston will try and reset. Bad clearance pass actually jumps over the stick of Rafter, and work as a dump out for Boston. And Falzer on the near side of the ice will settle things down right in front. Buffalo bench turned over. Decker, Knight playing catch, looking for that last pass, can't connect. Decker gets the loose puck, backhands it towards net, nobody home. Mangine pinches and keeps it in. Hillary Knight now. Wrist shot deflected wide. That'll spring Rafter. Curl and drag move around one. Can't do it around the second Pride defender. And Mangine will now regroup with 6:30 left to go in the third. Mangine poked away. Winds up in the stick of Smelker. Smelker turns off a defender. Getting a change from Boston on defense, and we'll have another penalty coming here as Smelker gets upended into the boards, and Boston will go back on the power play.
Well, when the game's all tied up, you definitely don't want to be you definitely don't want to be a man down in the third period against one of the best power plays in the league. So, you know, that's a tough play. That's a tough play there. Tough time to get called.
And it's going to be Duggan again, this time for a body contact as she pushes right past Smelker and actually gets her stick in the way first. But nonetheless, another power play coming up here for Boston. Off the face-off. Puck squirts out of the zone, out of the reach of Gedman. But Gedman quickly finds it and able to connect with Pelkey. And there was a trip on Duggan that sends her back to the box once again in this third period. Gedman trying to pinch, can't connect on it, and instead it is flipped out of his zone by McGowan. Good individual effort from her right there.
Interesting call. They called it a trip?
Yes, they said that the contact was at the feet and not up high. Could have been possibly a hit from behind too, but we'll go with a trip. Behind the net to Gedman. 45 seconds through the power play. And retreating is Decker once again. Buffalo not allowing Boston a clean exit out of their defensive zone. Now a little bit of room to maneuver for Smelker. Inside the offensive zone, tries to pass, kicked off the skate. Hillary Knight with it. Behind the net, Decker patiently to Knight. Olympic teammates play catch. Back to the point, now back to Decker once again. Cross ice pass, in the way of it was McGowan, and she clears it the length of the ice.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Pride work a little harder to get some more shots on net. They're passing it around a lot in the perimeter. I'd like to see them challenge the slot a little bit more.
That pass deflects once again. It's Kunichia breaking in for Buffalo as it's stripped from her. And Marvin cross ice pass, tape to tape to Gagliardi. Those two defenders. And now Gagliardi takes some room. Inside the circle, shot out front, just misses wide. That was from Smelker. Back to the point, Marvin. Cross ice over to Gagliardi. Top of the slot, it's Marvin at the point. Down low pass, Hillary Knight backhand, loose in the slot, and it will finally be covered by Makela as she takes down the lower half of the net and gets in the way of it, and another big penalty kill for Buffalo. 4:09 left to go in the third period. Boston 3, Buffalo 3, here on ESPN 3 and NESN. We'll be right back for the end of the third. Back inside Bright Landry, Hillary Knight on the backhand as that power play wrapped up for Boston. And Makala once again making that big save to keep this one tied at 3. And Erica, you mentioned right before we went to break, Boston very patient on that last power play. Not the same power play we saw in the first and second where it was just shoot, 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 shoot.
Yeah, they were working it a lot more around the perimeter that time. At the end of the power play, they got a chance to get it down to Hillary Knight down low. You know, they drew the penalty killers out. They were able to find Hillary Knight down low. Hillary Knight gets an opportunity. Hopefully, she was trying to hopefully squeak one, you know, by Amanda there, but couldn't quite get it.
We'll make our way into the last 4 minutes of the third period. Still 3-3 the score between Boston and Buffalo. In front of the Boston bench, a couple of bodies collide. Bolden getting the loose puck. And now the Pride wiggle their way into the offensive zone before it's turned over once again. Inside the zone and flipped in by McGowan. And on the forechecker is Rafter. Mangine calmly takes it out of her own defensive end. Wiggles past Zach. Mangine still with it. And then runs into the linesman, and that will result in a turnover. Pass high, almost gloved down by Duggan. Can't take it. And it's slipped back into the zone by Bowie. In the vicinity of Emily Field, she's applying pressure. And working its way out. Falzer gets up and it will be a penalty on Boston. And it looks like Gagliardi's going to go to the box after taking out Megan Duggan.
I think it's Corinne Bowie. I think it was Corinne Bowie. I think it's number 23. Yep.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
No problem.
And Bowie a little too aggressive right here and gets too much contact and throws Duggan down to the ice. And it will be a power play now for Buffalo. They have a chance now to take the lead, maybe steal one here, being outshot 2-1, 42-21, and this is the opportunity for Buffalo looking for win number 2 on the year and also to snap a 4-game losing streak. Off the face-off, back to the point, and Buffalo will set up on the power play. Brown, who's got 2 so far for Buffalo. Waiting for it. Pass out front, glove down out of the air by Gagliardi. Was making its way towards Ott. Gagliardi taking nothing behind it. Out front, big save as Skeets in close. But Ott takes away the lower part of the net. Big save.
This is a huge opportunity for the Buttes, clearly. You know, being in the third period tied, you'd rather win the game in regulation than overtime any day. This is a huge opportunity for them. They got to keep getting shots. Shot, shot, shot. That's the kind of team they are, and that's how they're going to score. That's how they're going to score against Ott.
Off the faceoff once again. Duggan starts the power play to the point. Falzer back to Duggan outside the faceoff circle. Has some room. Duggan's shot blocked. Getting in the way of that was Dempsey. And Dempsey gets past one, nearly gets past 2. And Buffalo with an opportunity once again offensively. Hillary Knight with some space, calmly cross ice to Gagliardi. And Gagliardi backhands it past the red line, and here come the Buttes. Fickle drop pass, finds Zach, shot tipped out front, still loose. Fickle takes it back to the point. Bozek, wrist shot, that's tipped high off the stick of McDonald. In the corner now behind the net, Bolden. 2 aside from each team. Fickle has it poked away. Mangine, strong in the puck, gets it to the point. Kept in for the moment by McDonald, but it's taken away by Decker. 2-on-1 now for Boston. Decker and Lannis. Decker has it. She passes it over to Lannis. Great save by Makala. And she jumps on the loose puck. And a huge stop from her on the shorthand.
If I was on that Buttes bench, I would have been closing my eyes on that. When you see Brianna Decker going down on a 2-on-1 with another very skilled player, you don't want to know the outcome of that. But when you have a solid goaltender, a goaltender who's playing really solid between the pipes, then it gives you a little bit more confidence and ability to watch that. It's a great play for the goaltender on that one.
So Makala able to keep this one at 3. 15 left on the power play for Buffalo. In the zone, Brown to the point. Bozek. Brown will let it run past her. Behind Kunichia. And a good battle with Gagliardi. And now it's Smelker. Smelker looking for Knight as we make our way into the final minute of the third period between Boston and Buffalo. Contact along the near side wall. It'll be Decker back out to the point. Bolden shot deflected wide. And an outlet pass. That finds Devin Skeets. She made this a 3-3 game early in the third period inside the zone. A lot of contact. She goes down. Boston clears, but right into the glove of Megan Bozek. And Buffalo looking to regroup. Hard off the wall. Falzer has to wait for Duggan to clear, and she'll smartly send it back into neutral ice. Tipped into Boston's zone. Taking it is Gedman. Gedman hard up the wall. Intercepted by Aaron Zach. Puts it behind the net with 12 left on the clock. Back to Zach once again. Shot calmly sticked aside by Ott. And we will have another whistle and a stoppage. And it looks like another penalty coming here. Will be a cross check.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry to say, I'm not sure who the penalty is on, but it looks like it will be on Boston. It'll be Amanda Pelkey going to the sin bin. 5.4 left in regulation, but Pelkey goes to the box for a cross check, and Buffalo maybe a chance here off the draw to draw something up, or if not, then we'll go into overtime, and Buffalo will be on the advantage.
Yeah, being Buffalo in this situation, obviously you'd rather score with the 5 seconds left, but then again you think about the implications of a penalty this late in the game when you're about to go into 4-on-4 overtime. That's a lot of open space and a lot of open ice to work with on the 4-on-3, and whenever you have that much space and that much ice, it's easier to score a goal. So I'd be really interested to see how they set up and how they plan on executing that, but I guess in the meantime we'll see if they can hold them out for the last 5 seconds.
Coach Bobby J there for Boston drawing up the play, and then on the other side of the ice, Rick Sealing, 10-year NHL career for Los Angeles Kings and Detroit Red Wings. He's drawn up a play here for the Buttes off the face-off. He had a timeout taken. So 5.4 left. Boston 3, Buffalo 3, and Buffalo will be on a 5-on-4 for regulation time. Then if we are still tied at 3, we'll go into a 4-on-4 overtime. Buffalo will have a minute 54. 4-on-3 off the face-off. Tied up quickly by Decker. Try to be sent out front off the stick of Skeets. She can't do it, so we will go to overtime. Boston and Buffalo tied at 3. And just take a quick look at the overtime statistics. Boston has yet to play a game where it was in their negative favor, I should say, going into extra time. They're 7-3 on the year. Buffalo 1-7-0-2. And of their current 4-game losing streak, the last 2 have been in regulation, but they have lost 2 games in overtime or a shootout at this point this year. Overtime now, Erica. Minute 55 on the penalty kill. What's the strategy for Boston into this period where you're going to have to open it down by a player in a 4-on-3? Not a situation you practice an awful lot.
No, you don't practice it a lot. Actually, that was the first thing I was thinking, is I wonder how many times both these teams have kind of run through those scenarios and figured out how they wanted to execute on both of these. You know, the 4-on-3 being the man up or man down. So I'm actually really interested to see. And if I'm a Pride player and being a not very offensively minded person, I'd like to see my opponents kind of collapse in the offensive zone, because the second that there's a turnover, or, you can potentially execute on a quick break. But that's just me being way too probably offensive minded. I don't know if you want to listen to what I have to say on that, but whenever there's a loose puck in the corner or a scrum, you get your fastest D on the puck and you just start skating out of the zone and hopefully get a breakaway. I don't know. That's kind of what I would be thinking if I'm playing on the defensive side of things. But they're probably like, no, just play smart and hold off. Make sure you kill this off and then go for the goal.
So third period, reason that we are going to overtime, it was on a Devin Skeets goal, but both teams with good opportunities in the third period. So far, Amanda Makala for Buffalo, 39 saves. And Boston had a chance. They were up 3-2. Decker on the goal. and then Skeets tied it, and that's why we are headed where we are. And for Brittany Ott, she's made 20 saves on the afternoon. Made one right there, but then the good follow through from Skeets has us going to overtime. This is a Buffalo team, I would say, here, Erica, that's playing a little bit of confidence now against one of the second place team in the NWHL, getting to overtime, taking advantage of some tired bodies as well. Try to get the extra point out of this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I think both these clubs actually have a lot of experience in overtime. You have a team that hasn't won very many games. The Buffalo Beauts, they haven't won very many games. They're going to want to capitalize on this opportunity to potentially, win their second game of the season in in overtime. So it still counts for a win.
No, absolutely.
A win's a win. It would be the second win of the season if they are able to score right now, and that obviously means a lot. They've been in every single game too, and it's always frustrating to lose all your games by one goal. You're right there every single time. So it's important for them to put the icing on the cake here and seal the deal.
5 one-goal games so far for Buffalo this year. They're 0-5 in those games. Their only win on this season came on December 29th, a 3-1 victory over the New York Riveters. They've given up 2 goals or less only twice this year. And then so far in the 4 meetings between these two, Boston and Buffalo, the Pride with a 17-10 advantage. So 4-on-3 to start this overtime period. Boston will be on the penalty kill and immediately out of the face-off. Blake Bolden sends it down the length of the ice. And Buffalo now with an opportunity. And it's Decker in the box for the cross-check. Back to the point, a lot of room for Buffalo to work. Falzer patiently looking for a lane. Over to Duggan, back to Falzer. Looking for a one-timer. Bozek, big save by Ott. Gets the stick down low, gets a piece of it. Duggan. Back to Bozek once again, now up to Falzer. Center point, over to Bozek once again. Those two play catch. Up front, Bozek shot off the post, still loose, cleared out last second. Big play by Jillian Dempsey, getting a piece of the puck. Ott without a stick for a moment, shot blocked. Dempsey, opportunity now. Bozek shot, that's blocked once again. Getting a piece of that is Bolden. Still 58 seconds left on the 4-on-3. Boston needs to kill it off if we want to keep playing hockey. Bozek along the wall. He gets it back once again. Patiently, Falzer. Bozek, one-timer short, and she scores. Megan Bozek with an absolute bomb from the top of the slot, and Buffalo snaps a 4-game losing streak and gets win number 2 on the season. 4-3 here at Boston. That was a great 4-on-3 power play, though, Erica.
It was a great 4-on-3 power play, and I bet they don't have very many opportunities to practice it. But you know what? If I'm over there and I look down my bench and I see Megan Bozek, I'm going to say, hey, look, everyone just pass it to Bose, pass it to Bo, tee her up for one-timers because she's got that shot from the point that's, amazing. So great, great heads-up play for the coach to recognize that. I would have been giving her the puck all day as well.
And Bozek was set up a couple of times there on that power play and finally able to blast it in. And Buffalo gets a 4-3 win thanks to the power play overtime game-winning goal from Megan Bozek. That will be her first of the season. And for the Buffalo Grove, Illinois native, she gives Buffalo win number 2, both on the road as well for the Buttes. And Boston now drops to 7-4-0-1 on the season. That'll give them 15 points as they still sit in second place in the NWHL standings behind the Connecticut Whale. Final thoughts from you, Erica, on today's game?
I think the Pride are going to think that's a little bit of a heartbreaker. They came out flying. I think that they probably outplayed them for a majority of the game, but hockey's a crazy sport. You never really know what's going to happen, and that's why you have to play a full 60 minutes. I think there was a couple points in the game where the Buttes were allowed to take control. So I think they just need to work on playing a full 60, and they'll be more successful next time.
So Boston falls here at home, their 3rd loss of the season. They dropped to 3-3 in Cambridge at the Bright Landry Hockey Center, and that will snap a 4-game losing streak as the Buttes make the trip down from Western New York and get win number 2 of the season. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday afternoon. Final score once again, Buffalo 4, Boston 3 in overtime. Happy New Year again. Erica, it was a pleasure working with you. Thank you for all the wonderful insight, and we'll see you around the ice soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tim.
Final once again, Buffalo 4, Boston 3. Thanks for tuning in to the NWHL on ESPN 3 and NESN. Tim Culverhouse signing off.